Okay, let's start with the arrange area. That's this one. Okay, now first thing I want to point out is that we can make this area bigger by putting our mouse right over the bottom bar till we get this symbol, and then click and drag down. It works over here. Also, we can hide stuff by dragging it to be too small, basically. So, and that's kind of true of any box. We can kind of resize it by dragging it around with that symbol. So, the arrange area. So, this is our main place that we arrange our track. So, let's get a little something on the arrange area here. So, remember, I have two MIDI tracks here, two instrument tracks, kind of the same thing in this context. So, I'm just going to play something in. Okay, now I have a block of audio that we can call a clip. So in the arrange area, I can move this around in time and I can arrange it, right? So this is where I'm going to actually be arranging my song. I can copy and paste. So all of your copy and paste functions work the same as they do in any kind of word editor, text editor. So Command C for copy, Command V for paste, that kind of stuff. I can put this down on the next track. I can do whatever I want. So I can move stuff around in time. Okay. Also, important to note here is that this is where we also see our timeline. And what this is showing us is our musical metrics here. So we're seeing bars. So bar 1, bar 2, bar 3, and bar 4. Each of the smaller ticks here is a beat. Okay, so that's beat 4 of the third bar is right there. We also have our tracks laid out here horizontally. So everything that happens up here in this line is on this track. Everything that happens on this line is in this track. And we'll get into more detail on that, how to get inside these tracks in just a minute. Couple other things to point out here. We're doing kind of high level view stuff, but zooming in and out, these controls over here. So if we want to make something bigger, we can do that. If we want to make something longer, we can do that. And notice what we're doing here with the time. We're actually just kind of pulling it out. We're not slowing anything down or speeding anything up. We're just zooming in. And this, making stuff big and smaller, will be useful at some point. Trust me on that. Okay, one last thing I want to point out about the arrange window is the snap tool. So snapping means you can see if I drag this around, you can see it kind of clicking into different spots as I just scrub forward. And if you look up here, you can see that what it's clicking on, what it's snapping to is beats, right? I can't move it anywhere in between beats. Snap is set to smart. Smart means that it's related to my zoom level. And that's that kind of clicking through thing is the amount that it's going to snap to the grid. Okay, so I could say snap to the bar. Now I can only move it in chunks of a bar, right? And I started on beat 2, so it's always going to go on beat 2 here. I can say snap to the beat, which is what I was doing before, or any other division that I want. If I'm on smart, which is the easiest place to leave it, then it depends on how much I'm zoomed in. So if I zoom in a lot farther, now I'm going to be able to get in between those beats. Now I can get to a 16th note, right? That's where I'm snapping to. That's where I'm snapping to. If I don't want any snap, I can just hit this little power thing and says snap is off. Now I can slide around totally fluidly. But caution when you're doing that. There's a big difference between being like right here, right on the beat, and being right here, not quite on the beat. Your whole track can fall apart if you're doing something that's rigidly in a tempo, like it's got a beat and stuff, and you're not perfectly on that. So you're better off just sticking to the smart grid. Okay, so watch out for that. Let's zoom back out. Also in our arrange area, we can control some basic mixer options. So this is our volume of the track. This is our panning. We'll talk more about that later. Mute, so don't play this track, but play everything else. Solo, play only this track and nothing else. And arm to record. We'll talk about that when we get into recording. Cool? Okay, so kind of big level view here. We'll be dealing a lot more with that shortly. But next, let's talk about the editing area down here.